Hi everybody and welcome to another episode of Chow with Lau, and today I am super excited to bring to you one of the most requested recipes I have on my channel, salt and pepper squid. And if that's not enough excitement for you, I've got a special secret weapon of an ingredient that will make the crispy coating explosively crunchy. So keep on watching to find out exactly what that is. Let's go. So my little chow with Lauers, this is the most requested recipe on my channel. So a special shout out to Georgia Rankin, who asked me extra nicely to do this. So Georgia, this is for you. And a special mention to Liz Reynolds, who on another recipe was guessing and never got it right as to what we were doing, even though I showed the ingredients. Never mind Liz, I wasn't making it too obvious. Watch this space, you'll find out all in good time. Anyway, back to the action. For this recipe, you're going to need some squid, 2 chili peppers, 5 cloves of garlic, half a white onion, 1 egg, approximately 1 teaspoon of salt, a good pinch of white pepper, a teaspoon of sesame oil, 200 grams of cornflour, otherwise known as cornstarch, enough cooking oil for deep frying. And finally, my secret ingredient. To find out what it is, keep on watching. It's a good one. So the first thing I'm going to do is finely chop the garlic. And for me in this dish, the garlic is every bit as important as the chili, even though the chili gets the headline. The garlic just gives it that extra kick of flavour that is so nice in this dish. Obviously, if you're not a garlic fan, you don't have to put as much in. But I love the stuff, so 5 cloves. Next, we're going to do our chilies. I've got 2 chilies here. Depending on what your threshold for heat is, you can decide how many chilies you want to put in. I'm going to finely chop these. You could deseed them if you think the chilies might be too hot for you, but I'm just going to keep it all because I want quite a bit of heat in this dish for me. The onions I'm just going to finely slice. Right, so what we're going to do to the squid is we're going to kind of butterfly it. We're going to open it up. Use a very sharp knife and be careful. Okay. Okay, scrape away any gunge that might be in there. Okay, with squid, this is actually frozen. This is from a Chinese supermarket, Asian supermarket. You can obviously go to your fishmonger and get the whole squid, and you can use the tentacles, the head, everything if you want. But this is particularly easy to deal with because it's just the body of it. And what we are going to do is we're going to just score into the flesh on the inside, not the outside, the inside. And try to do this without cutting all the way through it. And we're just going to make a mark every few millimeters or so. Okay, in a crisscross pattern. So we're going on the diagonal. This is where using a sharp knife is very helpful because it gives you that little bit of control. And this is going to do 2 things. It's going to allow the coating something to sort of hang on to stick onto. And also it's going to allow quicker cooking of the squid because the heat will get into the flesh more easily. Okay, so we're going to crisscross like this. And the frequency of it, the more kind of finer the lines, the better really. So every few millimeters. Get rid of this little bit of stuff. And the secret to cooking squid obviously is not to overcook it because that's when it gets tough and rubbery. So the actual frying that we're going to do is very quick, just a few minutes. Can you see? and that's going to curl up quite nicely. And then we're going to cut it into bite-sized pieces. So I'm just going to cut it down the middle, like so. Yep, so it should be firm, but not rubbery. And obviously the beautiful crunch and crispy coating when we fry it. There you go, guys. So now we've sliced up our squid, the next step is to kind of make a little bit of a marinade with the sesame oil and then put an egg in it so that the cornflour sticks to it a bit better. For people who don't eat eggs, you don't actually have to use this bit because the squid, being quite wet as it is, will stick to cornflour, especially when you put the sesame oil on. But I like it because of the colour the yolk gives it. It gives it a little bit more of a goldeny yellow colour, which I really like. So, but it's totally optional. You don't have to use it, but I am. Okay, so we're going to just put a splash of sesame oil, just about a teaspoon, I would say. And then I'm going to crack an egg and pop that into it. And then we're going to give it a stir. Like I said, this is going to help bind the cornflour to it just before we go to frying. But as you can see, that the squid's quite sort of wet anyway. Okay, but you can see the colour, can't you? The yellowness, the golden sort of yellowness, that's going to kind of go into the cornflour a little bit, which I think looks nice. Right, my little chefs, now for the crispy coating. So I've got my 200 grams of corn flour here. I'm just going to pop it into this sieve, into another bowl, and I'm going to add my 1 teaspoon of salt, which is quite a lot, but bear in mind that it gets distributed amongst the corn flour. Not all of it's actually going to end up on your squid. So I'm going to also give it a nice big portion of your white pepper, and we're just going to sieve that through so it kind of blends in kind of evenly as we can hope it would. Okay. What we're also going to do is we're going to bring back the squid a little bit. And if we can take maybe a teaspoon of that out and add it in, that'll help kind of thicken the liquid we've already got in there, and that'll make it extra sticky. I think a teaspoon's about, or maybe another teaspoon, because that'll go all gloopy now, so when we put it in the corn flour it's going to stick quite well. There you go, look, it's going nice and thick. Okay, right, I'm going to set that down. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the extra secret weapon that I'm going to help you make crunch bombs in your coating. And it is, a spray bottle of water. You may be wondering what the hell he's on about when I'm about to show you. Okay, what you have to do is you get your corn flour and you just lightly spray it. Like that. And you get a fork and you just stir that in a little bit. Okay. You don't have to use a lot. I think I'm going to do this probably about 2 or 3 times. And again, just a little squirt. And you're probably thinking, Mr. Chow with Lao is going a bit crazy. But no. One more time. Just a couple of squirts. That's all it takes. And what we're doing, people, is each little droplet of water which has been misted by this bottle is just starting to bind the granules of corn flour together, so you get little clusters. So what happens is when you deep fry them, instead of kind of frying as individual grains of corn flour, they're frying as little clusters of corn flour because they've stuck together because of the water, which means you're going to get a whole group of corn flour, a chunk of corn flour, which then fries into a really crispy, crunchy little crisp bomb. Guarantee it works, right? I've used it for other recipes before, and this one I think is the perfect one to use it on. So there you go, guys. Any clean bottle spray and this corn flour, guarantee you're going to get some extra crispy, crunchy bits in your coating. So we're going to put the squid into the crispy coating that will be, and make sure that you get it nice and covered. Now, the quantity of corn flour is 200 grams, which might seem a lot, and it is, but what we're trying to do, you can have too little, but you can't have too much. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, because what we need to do is make it so that the squid, in the end, it's got a kind of a dry coating to it. That's what ensures that it's actually going to be crispy. We don't want a sort of conventional batter. It's got to be this crispy coating, because that is what salt and pepper squid is all about. Okay, I'm going to add a bit more. If you feel that you don't have enough corn flour, you can always add some more. That's the beauty of it. So, as you can see, it's getting to the point where it's very nearly dry, because that's still sort of moist. We don't want that. We want it completely dry. So we keep going and keep rubbing it in until it becomes a dry kind of coating. It's quite pleasant, really. It's like a stress ball. I guess with squid, you either love it or hate it. Either the taste of it or more likely the texture of it. I get it, but I mean, I love it. I've met people who won't eat squid, but that's their problem. It's very important that you don't overload the amount of squid you put in the corn flour, because otherwise it'll get overwhelmed and you won't stick it. So you need a coating a bit like this. Okay, so that's about half done. So I'm going to put the other half in now. This is why I said you've got to make sure you've got plenty of corn flour. Too much is better than too little. You can see how sticky it is. So, yep, that's okay for that. So we now just toss it around. So it comes out dry. And nicely coated. Right guys, time for deep frying. As usual, be very careful. Right, we've got a nice fizz on these wooden chopsticks here, so we're about up to temperature. Should be about 180 degrees Celsius, centigrade. Don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I'm sure you can Google it. So we're going to drop these in. Be very, very careful. And this is not going to take very long. Literally 3 minutes tops. And that'll ensure that our squid is still nice and tender underneath this lovely crisp coating. So I'm going to only put half in because we don't want to overwhelm the oil. Keep an eye on it. Look at that. Right guys, that's 3 minutes. And we're going to just carefully pick them out of the very, very, very hot oil. Check it out. As you can see, it's quite clumpy. Thanks to our crunch maker. That's going to be a trademark, by the way. I am going to trademark that. So we're just going to set it aside. Hi Kobe. Pudding? Squid's not pudding. Okay, only one more step until squid heaven. Right, my little squid lovers, one more step until squid heaven. So, got a hot wok going on. Put about a tablespoon of oil in it. Okay. First thing I'm going to put in is the onions. Get them going, get the aromatics going. Also, this will help ensure that the chilies and the garlic don't burn. Add a tiny little bit more oil, I think. Okay, so in with the chilies. Like I said, if you don't want it too hot, don't use 2 chilies. If you want to go vanilla, then you don't have to use chilies at all, but why bother? Okay, whoa, that is very, very pungent. The chili is very, very knock your head back. I'm going to add some more salt and pepper because this will give us that nice saltiness on the outside. I'm going to add that to the pan before the pièce de résistance, the squid. And all we're going to do is give it a toss, just make sure that it all spreads through, so we're spreading the love and spreading the flavour and spreading the heat. Oh my word. Check it out. And so just as it slightly chars the coating on here is when you know you've got it perfect. And we don't want to do it too much, otherwise we're going to knock the coating off the squid. Check it out guys, salt and pepper squid. Get your taste buds ready. Check it out guys. Oh wow. Now this is definitely a cheat day special, but what a special. Oh yeah. That crunch maker spray bottle works a treat. Trust me. The chili kick is nice, not too overpowering actually. And the garlic is just wonderful. And the squid is lovely and tender because we haven't overcooked it. And the squid quality was really, really good actually. You don't always have to get fresh squid. That was frozen. It was amazing. It is amazing.
Yeah, you can thank me for that.
That was the boss. She chose the squid. She takes all the credit. But I have to say yes, otherwise she won't shoot me in focus. The nice sort of crunch from the onion also complements it really well. Really nice. You can actually close your eyes and say that's one of your 5 a day, but who are we trying to kid? Amazing. Oh gosh, so easy, actually really quick and very inexpensive to make. And you'll see this in restaurants all the time and you think, how do you make that one now? You know, nothing is stopping you from making this at home now. So what are you waiting for? Right guys, so again, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button, comment and like on the videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye bye.